Toy Tractor Times is at the 2018 National Farm Toy Show in Dyersville, Iowa. We're here with Chris Taylor of Palmyra, Missouri. Chris, congratulations. You placed second in the small scale division here at the show, probably the most competitive division there is. So well done, and we're looking forward to hearing about the story of your display.
Yeah, thank you.
So I know you've been doing this since you were in the youth competition and things, so it's great that you took home a gold trophy this time. And
yeah, I'm really happy with how it went. It was a good competition.
Well deserved. Well, let's look at the story of this display.
This display takes place in a small river bottom in Missouri, northeast Missouri, kind of along the Mississippi River. So we got a field of beans here with a center pivot on it. The farm's loading up the sprayer here with Liberty and Fusillade and oil and AMS. I've got all the labels and on the jugs and everything.
Let me see if I can zoom in there and see that. That's really neat.
It's a Rogator 854 modeled after our real one. I did a lot of work to it. The booms, everything is all scratch built. It's got the John Deere combine cab on it and a smaller tank.
That's a great classic.
And the tires are actually interchangeable to put floater tires on, just like our real one.
Great detail. And I know that I thought one of my favorite parts is this. Not only do you have the pivot marks in this bean field, and we can see the rows of beans and how they're growing, but if you've got the sprayer here on the farm, then that means you've got some weeds out in the field and
volunteer corn.
Can you put your finger on it again? It's always hard to actually see it, but it's right there. That's really cool.
There's several plants out there.
Yep, definitely a challenge in the early summer that we can see another piece of volunteer corn right there. Got mud on the tires of the pivot here.
Yep. And we got 3-phase power lines coming down the gravel road that would go to the well pump for the pivots. And we got wheat harvest going on. This kind of takes place in the tail end of June, 1st of July, finishing up wheat harvest. This farm here would more than likely be doing some drainage work on the field right next to the river. So they would not go back to it with double crops. They'd be doing some dirt work.
Sure. So what model combine do we have here?
It's an S670 built by Nick McRell and a 30-foot flex draper. And it replicates our real combine. Got the guy climbing in there, getting back in after changing a sickle section. Probably hit something going along the woods there.
That's always a good place to pick up a tree limb or a stone or something.
Yep.
And that's really a nice detailed barrier as well between the river, and I just like how you kind of have the embankment there. And
got some deer and some cattails. It'd be more of a swampy or marshy area.
Sure. Yep. Go along the shore here and see those cattails. And so no issues. I guess this is high enough ground that you can put wheat in it over the winter, not get the water up on it.
Typically, it's always a gamble, on an unprotected smaller river. Get a heavy rain.
Sure. So what do we got on the grain cart over here?
It's a 8235R that I built.
We got the Unverperth cart on the back.
Yep. This farm would have just been opening up this field, so hasn't gotten anything dumped on it.
Got the Mack truck.
Yep.
Header cart. Nice Chevrolet Silverado.
Yep. Got the depth tank in the back of the pickup and a fuel tank. A leaf blower to blow off the combine at the end of the day.
That's a cool detail.
Yeah.
Then we can get a better look at the Rogator here. I like how you have the foam markers there in orange. It's really cool. Again, we can look at the labeled boxes as we're over here that Chris was talking about. That's just great detail.
The cage shuttles have the respective Liberty label and the Land Oil label.
No, there's a lot of detail that just goes into, I know a lot of people put tanks on a trailer, but, there's a lot of plumbing, a lot of things to think about that make it realistic.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, spray tender trailer is something that most people sit down and think about and design out, and that's really how it needs to be in toy too. I mean, you got to get all your plumbing just right. And I've got all my plumbing and valves on that pump to be able to. It would be able to switch over to fill it and use the same pump, and so there's a lot of design in there.
Very cool. And what is this silver piece sticking out by the?
That would be the barricade, and that would work the automatic reverse on the pivot.
Okay.
And so most of the time you'd see them on the end wheel, but since the end tower, the driveway was there, the farm put it on the second tower.
Sure. Got some fencing in there.
Yep.
Well, let's come look at the road because there's a lot going on here for detail. We've got the what brand of seed sign here?
That's Beck's hybrid sign.
Okay. Got the no passing zone. We got the all the way up there to the bridge. A little bit of a worn road. Got the early summer corn coming up across the road. Stop sign.
Got graffiti on the back of the other stop sign.
Hey, there's some detail. Very cool.
Phone line junction box.
I'm betting Chris Steve might have suggested that.
Yep.
No, I like how you got the kind of tar patches for the cracks in the road.
This would be kind of a low maintenance state Missouri lettered route, state highway that would go a few years before getting repaved or anything.
Sure. So we kind of come up the road. We got a view of the river bottom here and everything going on out there. And another sign coming this way. The intersection, and we'll check it for graffiti on the back here.
No, it doesn't have any.
No. So we got another Mack truck probably coming to pick up some wheat coming over the bridge.
This farm would run 2 Mack trucks, and one driver would swap between the trucks. And so since they've just kind of gotten started on this field, he's moving the last truck down.
Sure. So tell me about this bridge. Where did you find such a nice piece like that?
That bridge is, I saw it in Walters HO Model Railroad catalog, and it is a double-track HO train bridge that scales out absolutely beautifully for a a 2-lane road bridge. And so it was a kit. I put it together, painted it, and then I built the roadway on top. I've got the expansion joints there in it, and the guardrail.
Nice. We got it built on a cement platform going down to the water.
And then got the bridge embankments there on the other end too, and the concrete retaining walls.
It looks like there's I think a drainage waterway down here.
Yep, that's where the road ditch, and then would dump out into the river and drain there.
And this gorge that you have is just impressive.
Thank you.
It's well done. I mean, it just looks so realistic. And I like how you have the high side, and then you have the low side over here. They've got, again, more trees. I mean, that's a great detail is to make thick trees to, it makes a nice backdrop for pictures. It makes it realistic. And tall trees, because trees are always much taller than the farm equipment.
Exactly.
Looks like we got some sunflowers on this side.
Some wild sunflowers. They're a pretty big nuisance, but I thought that would be a pretty good detail.
Got a deer going through the woods. Another telephone junction box.
Yep, and so there'd be there's some dirt around there. They must have just ran a cable underneath the road there. There's a tar patch on top where they'd cut the road.
So up here we've got a farmstead. More soybeans that look like they need to be sprayed too.
Yep. So this farm, the farmer would have bought this and tore down all the older buildings that couldn't be used anymore. So there's a pile of concrete there from that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what I really like is how you've put up the signs to show a curve in the road, and it goes all the way down, narrow bridge, and we can look all the way down the road to those river bottoms. Give you that drone view of the display. So again, you were talking about there's some concrete here from the older buildings that have been torn down.
Yeah,
on the
so like
farmstead.
the house would have been on over down the curve, and then the older, smaller cattle sheds and all would have probably have been torn down when they after they bought the farm, and then they would have built the hog building and the newer grain bin and put the power lines underground.
Well, let's take a look at the grain bins while we're up this way. Again, I love the detail of these power lines and how they all connect. So you got the older bins. Are they still being used?
Yes, they'd
Okay.
still be used, but then the farm would have built a new Conrad American bin. The older bins had the older souped up fans, and the newer bin has a new Conrad American fan.
And then we've got a tractor on the batwing mower here.
Yep, that would have been that'd be a farm 7530 up to there.
Nice. 15-foot mower.
Yep, Adam Frericks did the mower and I did the tractor.
Or HX15, I think.
Uh-huh.
And I've got, looks like you still have one older building, and I like how the corn head's stowed away under there. And
Yep, this farm 608 seeds tucked in there. This barn is built replicating one of our real barns on one of our farms. Chris Deeb made that barn for me, and he replicated everything down to the power line that we took down and just threw up over the roof when we disconnected the power to it.
And I can see again where it connects into the barn. Chris just does amazing work
He does.
on his own displays and is so helpful to other people as well when they're building a display. Well, I guess let's take a look at the backside of this barn, and I like how you got all the gates and things kind of misaligned with age. And
And we got the electric meter there on the meter pole where it goes underground.
yeah, that's a nice junction box, and just the detail of going up the power pole and to the transformer. And then we look at the backside of the barn here. Something I noticed right away is it looks like a bird's nest,
Yep.
and one of the birds looking down off the top of the roof. Some roof patches. Got the lightning rods across the top.
Yep. This farm would be a different farm than the other two farms that we saw, and they would be done with their wheat harvest and their grain carts already tucked in the shed. There, it's a J&M 875.
Nice. Got some buckets laying there. Looks very realistic. Any other good things we need to be looking at back here on the barn, or?
No, there's not a whole lot there.
It's neat.
Thank you.
So it looks like we got some double crop beans on this side of the
Yep.
highway, though.
This farm would be planting their double crop beans, and this is their 1790 and 9360R. This is what my dad and I plant with.
Nice setup. Got the tender wagon there.
Yep.
Now, what brand of auger is back there?
That's a Brandt 10 inch by 70 foot swing away auger, and it's got a Swinger manufacturing hop remover on it. I built that out of brass last fall during a rain delay. I went and measured our real brand auger and built it to that.
Impressive.
Thank you.
So again, we've got looks like a terrace field that
Yep.
they're coming into, and
So this would be kind of on the hillside, kind of going down to the river, and we got a tile riser there, and then a terrace along it.
so let's talk about this hog barn. They're usually a pretty quiet looking facility on the outside, and
So this barn, my friend Sean Lockwood took our blueprints off of our real hog barn and laser cut all the walls and everything for me. And then I built it and detailed all the inside. So
I really want to compliment you. It's such a big plus that I know a lot of people want to show that inside, but when you're competing in a competition like this, it's just so realistic to have the roof on there, and then
Yes.
you can show the judges or people that want to see the inside.
And so our barn uses AP tube style feeders, and so Sean built me those AP tube style feeders, and then I ran all the feed lines, and all the electric motors are on there. And then I built our sort room just like ours, and I got a bed cart and pull the dead pigs out and all our sort panels and rattle paddles. The office is all detailed with a bunch of rubber boots.
Do I see some Bounty paper towels up on the top there?
Yep, they're just a bunch of crap. So the barn would be getting ready to be power washed to put a new herd of hogs in it. So the power washer's setting outside. The barn would be doing that probably in the evenings whenever they get some free time. Got an extension cord there.
Awesome. Let me get that so ready again. I've never seen an extension cord on a display, so.
There's an extension cord over on the grain bin. The new grain bin would have been filled with wheat, so they'd have the extension cord to run up to the spreader.
Okay. There's a lot to think about, that's for sure.
I know, there sure is.
So it looks like we've got an International 86 series over here on a whole pump.
Yep, that would have been the farm's manure pumping tractor. It wouldn't do much more than run the manure pump.
What model International is it?
It's a 1586.
Nice.
For a while, we had a 1586, and all it did was run our Hool 3-point manure pump.
That was the lead tractor for IH in the 70s. Looks like you got another.
That's a Farm Star load stand to load the manure tank.
So where do they load out of, or where's the pit to pump them?
So the pit would be underneath the barn, and you'd move a pit van there and just drop your pump in the sump, the pump out.
I did not know it worked that way.
Yep.
And then you can see you got your commodity bins that connect to the tubes.
Yep, those started life as standy bins that I redid the roof and the stands for them, and then put tractor fab ladders on them.
So you got the propane tank as well?
Yep, the propane tank would run the heaters in the barn for when we get weaner pigs in.
Well, it's just an awesome display, Chris, and thank you for the tour. I'm going to give everybody just kind of that drone footage and walk around one more time. Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Chris has done a great job. I mean, there's so much detail. We're probably still missing a few things, so we'll walk around here one more time just to give you a look at the display and the river. This is the first time I've seen such a detailed river on the display, and his second place is definitely well deserved. So we got the wheat field here being harvested, and we'll just walk around one more time. I hope that you've enjoyed the tour here with Chris and Toy Tractor Times. If you've enjoyed our channel, please check back often, as new videos will be shared from the National Farm Toy Show throughout the month of November 2018. It's always exciting to see all the work that people do to share these farmsteads and model farms. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more of the great displays.